Somewhere inside a heavily protected vault at Yale University, away from all sunlight, lies a small book. A book that looks, at first, like any other ancient artifact, but it's not. In fact, it is the exact reason why some of the smartest people in the world often wake up in a cold sweat. It's because this book has managed to defeat every codebreaker, every expert in ancient languages, and even the most powerful supercomputers we have ever built. Seriously. For over 100 years, human beings have thrown their best tools, their entire lives, and millions of dollars at these pages. And you know what? We failed. Completely. Think about that for a moment. This isn't just about a mystery. It's about a limitation. Nazi Germany tried to crack it. The CIA, fresh from their coldest Cold War missions, tried. And today, we have fed its pages to artificial intelligence systems that are trained on every single confirmed human language in history. And still, dead silence. Why can't we read it? Are we looking at the lost dialect of a forgotten people? A brilliantly elaborate medieval hoax designed just to confuse us? Or is it something we were simply never meant to understand? Here at Fresh Mindset Pro, we don't just ask questions. We look for the truths that make us think differently. And believe me, this story is about to change how you see the world of mysteries. By the end, you're going to realize why this isn't a problem waiting for an answer. It's a lock designed with no key. This is the Voynich Manuscript, 240 pages of pure, unfiltered obsession. Inside, there are roughly 250,000 characters, written carefully in an alphabet that belongs to no known language on Earth, living or dead. And honestly, the more you look at it, the stranger it gets. I mean, think about the history we do know. We cracked the complex Enigma codes of World War II. We translated ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs once we found the Rosetta Stone. We have solved almost every major cipher humanity has ever created. But this one, it outlasted them all. Because unlike every other secret in human history, experts can't even agree on what kind of puzzle they're looking at. Is it a real language spoken by a forgotten group? A dark, unbreakable military code? Or is it just a very old, very elaborate 500-year-old lie? You see, this isn't just a simple story about an old dusty book resting inside a glass case. It is a story about the absolute limits of human intelligence. It shows us what happens when our greatest tool, our language, meets something that flatly refuses to be understood. When I first started researching this, one specific thought really stayed with me. Somewhere in these yellowed pages, 5 centuries ago, a human being picked up an ink pen, sat down in the quiet, and made a choice. A choice to record a piece of knowledge that still haunts researchers to this very day. Picture this: a dusty, dimly lit bookshop in Italy, back in 1912. Boxes of ancient manuscripts are stacked in the shadows. A rare book dealer named Wilfred Voynich is searching through a Jesuit college collection. He's looking for forgotten treasures to sell. He's experienced, he's seen a lot. But then, as he opens an old, forgotten chest, his hand pulls out a small, unusually thin volume. He had no idea that this single book would consume the rest of his life, and the lives of almost everyone who touched it after him. It's an unassuming book. No title, no author, no date. But the moment you open it, you are stepped into another world. The pages are filled with impossible botanical drawings, plants that simply do not exist anywhere in nature. Think of flowers with no earthly counterparts, astronomical charts that look familiar at first, but are connected by strange, spiraling diagrams. And then, there's the most disturbing part. Page after page of small, naked women, bathing in green liquid inside complex networks of tubes and pools. It almost looks like some kind of ancient biological machine. Voynich was convinced he had found something extraordinary. But as the years went on, his obsession turned into frustration. No one could tell him what it meant. He died in 1930, after dedicating his life to it, without ever learning what it said. And honestly, if mysteries like this keep you up at night, wondering what is real, I have a feeling we have a lot in common. Hit that subscribe button and join the search. This channel was made for minds just like yours. Fast forward to World War II. America's top military codebreakers, the exact same brilliant minds who broke the complex Japanese naval codes, decided to take on the challenge. These were people who ate impossible mathematical puzzles for breakfast. They sat in smoke-filled rooms with stacks of manuscript photographs, fully believing they could crack it in just a few weeks. But weeks turned into frustrating months. Months stretched into exhausting years. And eventually, these master codebreakers had to throw up their hands and walk away. Nothing worked. Every statistical pattern they uncovered immediately contradicted itself. The text clearly behaved like a real human language, following genuine rules of grammar and structure, and yet, it matched absolutely zero recorded languages in history. Think about how terrifying that is for a cryptographer. For decades, skeptics insisted it was just a clever medieval hoax created by a con artist to scam a rich collector. But in 2009, everything changed. Scientists at the University of Arizona got permission to take tiny slivers of the parchment and run advanced radiocarbon dating tests on them. Everyone held their breath, expecting to prove it was a modern fake. Instead, the results sent a chill straight down the scientific community's spine. The parchment was real, genuinely medieval, created sometime between 1404 and 1438. This wasn't a Renaissance prank or a Victorian forgery. This book was written decades before Christopher Columbus ever set sail for the Americas. And that brought one horrifying, deeply unsettling question back onto the table. What if it was never a hoax? What if this is a real record of real knowledge, written by a human mind, that we have simply lost the ability to comprehend? In recent years, researchers decided to turn to something Wilfred Voynich could never have dreamed of in his wildest nightmares: artificial intelligence. Advanced machine learning models were fed the entire manuscript, scanning every single character to compare its underlying structure against every documented language in human history. And what the AI found actually raised more questions than answers. You see, the text strictly follows Zipf's law, a natural statistical pattern found in every real human language, from modern English to ancient Sumerian. Word frequencies, sentence lengths, and even a complex system of grammar were all clearly present. When I read that research paper for the first time, it honestly blew my mind. Because this proves one crucial thing. This wasn't just random gibberish or a fake book put together by a bored medieval monk to scam a rich buyer. Someone, or something, carefully encoded genuine, structured meaning into these parchment pages. So what were they trying to hide? Today, some experts believe those strange biological drawings depict hidden female anatomy and forbidden herbal medicine. Back in the 1400s, writing about such topics openly could easily get you tortured or burned at the stake. Others suspect it might be a lost dialect from an isolated community, written down in a secret phonetic shorthand meant only for a trusted few. And then, there is one final theory that almost no one dares to speak out loud. What if this is an entirely constructed language, an invented system built for a purpose we simply cannot fathom? Think about what that actually means. We aren't looking at a broken code waiting to be deciphered. We are staring right at a heavily locked door, one with no visible keyhole. Here is the ultimate truth that should terrify you. Every single leap in technology, from wartime code breaking to modern supercomputers, hasn't made this mystery easier to solve. It has only proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that a secret really exists. and that we are still nowhere near smart enough to unlock it. Somewhere, 5 centuries ago, a single human being, someone with a real name, a family, and a life we will never know, sat down in the dark, dipped a quill in ink, and wrote 240 pages of something they needed the world to never fully read. It's a humbling thought, isn't it? I mean, look at how far we've come. We split the atom to build nuclear power. We put human footprints on the moon. We carry literal supercomputers right inside our pockets every single day. And yet, we are utterly powerless against one small, handwritten book from 500 years ago. Maybe that is the real lesson here. It's not that the Voynich Manuscript is simply unsolvable. It's the unsettling realization that some truths choose exactly who gets to find them. And so far, it simply hasn't chosen us. If this story made you stop and think about the boundaries of what we know, hit that subscribe button and join our community here at Fresh Mindset Pro. Because in our next documentary, we are uncovering the shocking theory that connects this very manuscript to a secret medieval order and the one hidden page that historians have deliberately kept out of public view. Until then, keep questioning everything, because the real truth is always waiting out there in the dark.